Hi guys, this is Gus, and today I'm going to show you how to create a fake Wi-Fi in Kali Linux using a software called HostAPD and DNSMask. So before we start any of this, just as a disclaimer, we have everything in Kali Linux updated, and we are using a virtual machine under VMware Fusion. And in order to install HostAPD and DNSMask, you need to write a few commands into a terminal prompt, but we already have that done. If you're curious on how to do most of the stuff that we're going to do right now, we have an article in our presentation that you can read up, and it'll explain everything in more detail than what I'm going to show you today. But without further ado, let's get started. We already have HostAPD and DNSMask installed, so what we're going to do is we're going to check what adapters we have connected to our Kali Linux machine. So we're going to type in iwconfig, and we have three things here. We have a low, an Ethernet, and a WLAN. Our WLAN is the Wi-Fi adapter that we're using to create this fake access point, but we need it in monitor mode. Here it says manage, and what monitor mode does, it allows a hacker to read what people are doing on the network. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in some commands that I already have set up here, and what these three commands do, it allows the AP, the Wi-Fi card, to go into monitor mode. So we're going to type in those three commands right there. Takes a quick second, but it's now set up, and if we want to test that, we can type iwconfig again. And now, as you can see, before it was in manage mode, and now it is in monitor mode. So now we have the perfect environment to start looking at people's data. So the next step is to create a directory for the HostAPD and DNSMask software. So you would use this right here to create the directory, mkdir/root/access point. We already have that set up, so no need to type that into the terminal. So what we're going to do is access that directory with this command right here, cd/root/access point. Now we're looking at that specific directory. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a configuration file that the software can read. Now it's already configured. We did this ahead of time. Most of the stuff here might seem confusing. Most of the explanations are in the article, but what you need to know is that the name of the Wi-Fi is going to be called, the password is 123456778, and this password is, as you guessed it, 123456778. Like I said earlier, if you want to learn more about what all this means, it's in the article, and it goes into pretty decent detail on what it all does. So without further ado, we already got that done. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in hostapd.config, and that is going to start the AP. Takes a quick second, but as you can see, the AP is now enabled. We are not done, however. We still need to make sure that that AP is getting internet, and that allows people to connect to it. So we're going to open up a separate terminal window, and next we're going to do something similar to what we just did with the HostAPD configuration file, but we're going to do it for the DNSMask configuration file. So I'm going to copy both of these commands, put it into this terminal window. And as before, we already have all this set up, and like I said, if you're curious about what most of this means, it's in the article that we have in our presentation. So once that's done, we want to have this Wi-Fi actually receive internet. So we have these two commands here, and what it's going to do is it's going to allow the AP to begin to receive internet access. So that works, and it's done. The next step is to start running the DNSMask software from the configuration file. We're going to copy this command right here. We're going to paste it into this terminal. And here's a bunch of jargon, but essentially the DNS server is starting to run, and now the AP is starting to get information. And now it's starting to, this is a screen here that we're going to be looking at towards the end once everything is up and running. So we're going to leave that up for now. There's a few more steps involved, and we're almost done here. We need to type in some IP table commands. So we're going to open up one more terminal window. What we're going to do is copy these commands into our terminal. Oof. Apologies for that. Copy. Paste that. So what we do from here is we type in this command. This little dash right here, no big deal. Type that in. And we have one more command to type in. Two more, actually. We're going to type this in here. And the last thing that needs to be done is we're going to enable port forwarding. And we are going to type this into our console. And that is the last step necessary. So now everything is done. The AP is ready to go. And to test it out, what I'm going to do is I have one of my old phones connected that I'm about to connect, or it's actually already connected since it's connected before. And what I'm going to do is, to test out this and make sure it's working, as you can see, there's already stuff loading. What I'm going to do is I'm going to load up Twitter. And as you can see, there's a bunch of stuff showing up, a lot going on. But you can see that Twitter is showing up right here. And this is the important part. This line right here, the query, it tells you the IP from which, whatever IP a specific device is. So 192.168.1.3 is the address, the IP address of my old phone. And this is what hackers want if they want to perform various attacks like man-in-the-middle attacks, DNS spoofing, Wi-Fi deauthentication attacks. The possibilities are quite endless, really. But this is just like a basic form of creating a fake AP for like what someone would do if they wanted to hack into people. So that's basically it. This is how you create a fake AP. If you're ever curious, like I said, there's an article that you can use to install this and mess around with this yourself. Otherwise, that's basically it. Hope you guys have a nice day.